Subscribe this channel for further test series. This portion is about research management. Question number 401. The most immediate way of obtaining information from the world is A. Perceptions. B. Senses. C. Observations. D. Expert opinion. The correct answer is option B. Senses. Question number 402. The scientific method provides us another way of obtaining information that is A. Accurate and reliable. B. Valid and reliable. C. Valid. D. Both A and B. The correct answer is option A. Accurate and reliable. Question number 403. The tentative explanation of observation is called A. Hypothesis. B. Interpretation. C. Discussions. D. Investigations. The correct answer is option A. Hypothesis. Question number 404. The real value of scientific research is that it can be A. Justified. B. Concerned. C. Replicated. D. Focused. The correct answer is option C. Replicated. Question number 405. An attempt by a researcher to find out whether a particular theory of how children learn to read can be applied to the first graders who are non-readers is an example of A. Basic research. B. Action research. C. Applied research. D. Survey research. The correct answer is option C. Applied research. Question number 406. A study that examines the effects of particular teacher behaviors on students while also testing a theory of personality is an indicator of A. Basic research. B. Casual comparative research. C. Applied research. D. Both A and C. The correct answer is option D. Both A and C. Question number 407. If the cat is in the basket and the basket is in the box, the cat therefore has to be in the box. This leads to A. Scientific judgment. B. Sensing. C. Institution. D. Logical reasoning. The correct answer is option D. Logical reasoning. Question number 408. The approach requires no manipulation or intervention on the part of the researcher other than administering the instruments necessary to collect the data desired is A. Single subject approach. B. Survey approach. C. Correlational approach. D. Casual comparative approach. The correct answer is option C. Correlational approach. Question number 409. The type of research that deals with documenting and portraying the everyday experiences of individuals by observing and interviewing them is called A. Survey research. B. Ethnographic research. C. Historical research. D. Action research. The correct answer is option B. Ethnographic research. Question number 410. Biography and phenomenology, case study, and grounded theory come under research. A. Survey research. B. Ethnographic research. C. Historical research. D. Action research. The correct answer is option B. Ethnographic research. Question number 411. In biography, the main focus of researcher is to study A. particular phenomenon. B. Important experiences in the life of an individual. C. Detailed and extensive study of a person's life. D. To develop a theory. The correct answer is option B. Important experiences in the life of an individual. Question number 412. Instead of searching for powerful generalizations, researcher focus on getting information that will enable them to change condition in a particular situation in which they are personally involved. A. Action. B. Survey. C. Historical. D. Both A and C. The correct answer is option A. Action. Question number 413. The primary methodology used in intervention research is dash. A. Survey. B. Hypothesis. C. Experiment. D. None of them. The correct answer is option C. Experiment. Question number 414. Positive researcher assumes that the world is made up of A. Single reality. B. Multiple realities. C. Both A and B. D. None. The correct answer is option B. Multiple realities. Question number 415. Sometimes researchers use both quantitative and qualitative approaches in the same study. This kind of research is referred as A. Mixed method research. B. Survey research. C. Historical research. D. Action research. The correct answer is option A. Mixed method research. Question number 16. It is an attempt to reduce the limitation of individual studies by trying to locate all of the studies on a particular topic. A. Critical analysis. B. Meta-analysis. C. Multiple realities. D. None. The correct answer is option B. Meta-analysis. Question number 417. A is anything that is taken for granted rather than tested or checked. A. Observation. B. Hypothesis. C. Assumption. D. Evaluation. The correct answer is option C. Assumption. Question number 418. Ethnographic research is one form of research. A. Quantitative. B. Qualitative. C. Both A and B. D. Action research. The correct answer is option B. Qualitative. Question number 419. How do parents feel about the school counseling program? Is an example of A. Survey research. B. Ethnographic research. C. Interview research. D. Co-relational research. The correct answer is option A. Survey research. Question number 420. A good research question should always have all factors except A. Clarity. B. Feasibility. C. Biased. D. Ethical. The correct answer is option B. Feasibility. Subscribe this channel for further test series. This portion is about research management. Question number 421. If all members of the class are identical, and do not have a variable, such characteristic is called A. Quantitative variable. B. Constants. C. Categorical variables. D. Both B and C. The correct answer is option B. Constants. Question number 422. The variables which do not vary in degree, amount, or quantity but are qualitatively different are called A. Quantitative variable. B. Constants. C. Categorical variables. D. Both B and C. The correct answer is option C. Categorical variables. Question number 423. Age, height, amount of interest and motivation shows variable. A. Quantitative variable. B. Constants. C. Categorical variables. D. Both B and C. The correct answer is option A. Quantitative variable. Question number 424. A variable that is presumed to affect or somehow influence at least one another variable is called A. Manipulative variable. B. Independent variable. C. Dependent variables. D. Treatment variable. The correct answer is option B. Independent variable. Question number 425. Whenever a researcher sets up experiment conditions and one or more variables are created, such variables are called A. Manipulative variable. B. Treatment variable. C. Dependent variables. D. Both A and B. The correct answer is option D. Both A and B. Question number 426. Anxiety affects test performance, but the correlation is markedly lower for students with test-taking experience. In this hypothesis, the independent variable is A. Anxiety level. B. Test-taking experience. C. Test performance. D. Effect of test on anxiety level. The correct answer is option A. Anxiety level. Question number 427. Once researchers have decided which variable to study, they must be concerned about the influence or effect of other variables that exist. Such variable are usually called A. Moderator variable, B. Extraneous variable, C. Manipulative variables, D. Dependent variable. The correct answer is option B. Extraneous variable. Question number 428. One way to control extraneous variables is to hold them A. Constant, B. Unchanged, C. Simple, D. Fixed. The correct answer is option A. Constant. Question number 429. Student taught history by a teacher of a same gender will like the subject more than student taught history by a teacher of different gender. This statement shows A. Research objective, B. Research question, C. Research hypothesis, D. Research aim. The correct answer is option C. Research hypothesis. Research hypothesis. Subscribe this channel for further test series. This portion is about research management. Question number 430. One main disadvantage of stating a hypothesis is that it may be on the part of researcher A. Many in know, B. More sophisticated, C. Biased, D. Both A and C. The correct answer is option C. Biased. Question number 431. In directional hypothesis, the direction expected to be based on information from A. Literature, B. Personal experience, C. Experience of others, D. All of these. The correct answer is option D. All of these. Question number 432. A directional hypothesis is supposed to be riskier because it is A. Biased, B. Less likely to be occur, C. Straightforward, D. None. The correct answer is option B. Less likely to be occurred. Question number 433. A quantitative variable varies in degree but not in A. Amount, B. Kind, C. Format, D. Both B and C. The correct answer is option B. Kind. Question number 434. Several kinds of variables are studied in educational research, but the most common are A. Extraneous variable, B. Categorical/quantitative variable, C. Independent/dependent variables, D. Dependent variables. The correct answer is option C. Independent/dependent variables. Question number 435. A moderator variable is A. Variable, A. Independent, B. Secondary, C. Dependent, D. Selected. The correct answer is option B. Secondary. Question number 436. Which research question suggests relationship? A. How many students are enrolled in chemistry class? B. As the reading level of a passage increases, does the know of student errors student made on pronouncing words in the passage increases? C. What does the faculty dislikes about the new English curriculum? D. Who is brightest student in senior class? The correct answer is option B. As the reading level of a passage increases, does the know of student errors student made on pronouncing words in the passage increases? Question number 437. A few cases seemed quite different from the rest, so we deleted them. This statement shows researchers A. Biasness, B. Unethical practice, C. Need of study, D. Deception. The correct answer is option B. Unethical practice. Question number 438. There are no of ethical principles that all researchers should be aware of and apply to their A. Observation, B. Investigation, C. Research, D. Study. The correct answer is option B. Investigation. Question number 439. The term refers to intentionally misinforming the subject of study as to some or all aspects of the research topic. A. Ethics, B. Deception, C. Immoral practice. D. None. The correct answer is option B. Deception. Subscribe this channel for further test series. This portion is about research management. Question number 440. Articles, monographs, books, and other documents that deal with the research question comes under A. Primary sources. B. Secondary sources. C. Abstracts. D. General reference. The correct answer is option D. General reference. 140. Articles, monographs, books, and other documents that deal with the research question comes under A. Primary sources. B. Secondary sources. C. Abstracts. D. General reference. The correct answer is option D. General reference. Question number 441. The most common secondary sources in education are A. Journals. B. Monographs. C. Articles. D. Textbooks. The correct answer is option D. Textbooks. Question number 442. Many important research findings are first published as A. Reports. B. Articles. C. Paper. D. Thesis. The correct answer is option A. Reports. Question number 443. In a research during sampling, all 700 students at Punjab University who are majoring in biology will be considered as A. Sample. B. Population. C. Group of interest. D. Subject. The correct answer is option B. Population. Question number 444. The is a group of interest to the researcher, would like to generalize the result of study. A. Sample. B. Population. C. Target population. D. Accessible population. The correct answer is option B. Population. Question number 445. Which population is rarely available? A. Actual population. B. Accessible population. C. Target population. D. Both A and C. The correct answer is option D. Both A and C. Question number 446. If the distribution of population is equal to the distribution of sample, then sample will be A. More representatives. B. Less representatives. C. Constant. D. Both A and C. The correct answer is option A. More representatives. Question number 447. The president of Punjab University wants to know how has junior faculty felt about promotion policy. He selected specific no of sample out of 1000 faculty members. Such type of sampling techniques is called A. Simple random sampling. B. Random sampling. C. Non-random sampling. D. None. The correct answer is option C. Non-random sampling. Question number 448. Sometimes, for example, a list of all members of population of interest is not available, then research should be applied. A. Simple random sampling. B. Cluster random sampling. C. Systematic sampling. D. Stratified random sampling. The correct answer is option B. Cluster random sampling. Question number 449. In every 10th individual in the population list is selected for inclusion to the sample. A. Two-stage random sampling. B. Systematic sampling. C. Cluster sampling. D. Stratified random sampling. The correct answer is option B. Systematic sampling. Question number 450. The selection of groups of subjects rather than individuals is known as A. Two-stage random sampling. B. Systematic sampling. C. Cluster sampling. D. Stratified random sampling. The correct answer is option C. Cluster sampling. Subscribe this channel for further test series. This portion is about research management.